Good morning, children. Today again we have a new topic, the same topic what was explained to you, but it's a new chapter for you. It's chapter 6. You have each drops. Now children, in the last class I had explained with the diagram about water cycle. Now what is water cycle? Water cycle is a very interesting topic for science subject. Now you children, you know the clouds are in the air, in the sky, in the atmosphere. Now when you see clouds, do you think how they are formed? Did you have in your mind that question, how clouds are formed up in the sky? And do you know how the rain drops are coming down on the earth? You know, when I was small children, I used to find this as a question mark. I used to think how water is dropped from top and we are carrying umbrella. And then when I was very small, I used to think it is coming from God, because I was not knowing what is water cycle. Then when I came to school like you in 4th standard, then the teacher taught me what is water cycle. Now what is water cycle is given in the last picture of your diagram, and also on page 41 beautifully it is explained. But I will tell you how it is. Okay? Now children, in the air, now when the sun is shining, what you feel? Very hot, isn't it? And you feel thirsty, right? Same way, on the earth and in the atmosphere, there are changes taking place. Now in the atmosphere and on the earth, you have water like river, ocean, ponds, everything is there. So what happens when the sun is falling directly on the earth's surface, on these areas, the water gets heated up. Okay, the water gets heated up. You can see this in picture 41. Now when you boil a water, when mummy boils on the stove, you can go and stand next to mummy and see if she's covering with a lid. There, when the water is boiling with the on heating up, small bubbles are formed on the plate, on the lid, not on the top, but which is covered below. So when the lid is taken, you see small drops of water is on it. Okay, now this drops of water, how it is? Because the water was heated up. That's a simple thing what we see in our kitchen. But when you take the earth, when the sun is directly on this rivers, ocean, seas and pond and all that, wherever the plants and all the area surface of the earth, then there is a change taking place. These atmosphere or the river, when it is getting heated up, evaporation is taking place. That word is called evaporation. When you take up, mummy takes up the lid, you see drops of water, that means it is evaporation. So when this water is, or the atmosphere is getting heated up by sun, there is small drops of water going towards the sky up, very high above the atmosphere. It goes up, and when it goes up, children, now when it goes up, that form is called, or the process is called evaporation, and it is going up. And when these drops of water is collecting in the droplets, that's why we are doing little each drop. These small drops of water is collected together, and there is a change taking place which is called condensation. That means in the air, as it is reaching, there is cooling taking place, and these droplets, they join and they are formed with the formation of cloud. Condensation. Evaporation, then condensation, cooling of it, the clouds are formed, and the clouds, when it is droplets are take cooling and then they are formed too much, it becomes heavy. What becomes heavy, children? The clouds in the sky, they become heavy, and they come from the high level of atmosphere, they come down little bit. And what is pushing them? The wind. What is pushing these heavy clouds? These droplets, when they formed as a clouds, you may see it may change its color black. From white cloud, it changes into heaviness and black. And what gives them away from one place to other is, you see the clouds don't stand in one place, right? So that is by the wind they move. And when it becomes heavy, these droplets, they drop as a rain on the surface of the earth. And that's how we get rain. So when it rains, children, again the river flows, the pond is having, or the river or the sea or ocean that is having water, its level goes up. Okay, so again when sun is on in the sky and it gives heat, again the water goes up. Again its droplets, clouds are formed with condensation. Then it becomes heavy. Again it forms in the form of rain. After cooling, it falls down as it drops, and it flows towards the earth. As a raindrops flows towards or on the surface of the earth, it is falling on the mountains, it is falling on high level. So these all flow and go to the river, oceans and ponds. Now this process is continuous, children. It is continuous. It is not stopping. If there is no sunlight, it is harmful. Because we won't get rain. And this process of cycle, that is called water cycle. What is that called, children? It is called water cycle. In higher classes, it is called 9th standard, it is called hydrocycle. Why it is called hydrocycle, the teacher will explain there. But now for your level, it is called water cycle. Okay? Now, water falls on the earth, children. Now when water is, it is in the form of liquid. When we get water, we have to use water very carefully. I know rain is given, but it is a process of water cycle. But when water is in the form of different sources, we have to use it very carefully. Now it comes into our house through tap, pipes. No, we are getting through pipe the water, but you must use it carefully, because if there is no rain, the ponds will get dried, lakes will get dried, rivers will get dried, then there won't be water. So to preserve water, we have not to waste water, and we need water for our body. Living things need water. Everything is used by water. Cleaning, washing, you have studied in 2nd standard, drinking, all this is needed by water. So water should be used carefully. Now children, how can we use it carefully or preserve it? We can preserve this water with the help of, suppose you wash vessels, you wash your clothes, these waters we can use it again. how we can make a small, you can cut the you can construct a small passage, or you can construct a small canal like thing and flow this water to the plants. Okay, in villages they do that. You don't waste the water. They see that little water also, the used water is used for the plants, for big trees, their garden, their groves, the water used. Now this used water, when we again use it, is called recycling of water. So what is recycling? Recycling is nothing, children, but when we use the water again, that is called recycling. Okay, so then you have to use water in many ways. Now in your textbook, I have given you a drawing to draw. So you have on page 41, you have to draw this, and there is label given here on top: sunlight, evaporation, this is river, and then you have condensation, and then clouds and rain. So only this picture you have to draw neatly in your classwork, because this is the main part of water cycle. Then you have your you got in your page number here on page 46, a small activity is here, page 46. Now here the activity is, what are the activities? Now you use water for washing face. How many minutes do you wash? How many not minutes, how many mugs of water you consume? So you should use it very carefully. So some children use it, no, simply use water. No, you should wash your face very carefully with 2 mugs. Then water used by in the family. In the family, if you are using 2 mugs, how many members are there? How much of mug of water is needed for the total family? Then you have total number of water. Next, washing hands and legs. For washing hands and legs, you need not 2 mugs, you need half bucket. So you can write half bucket. How many members are there? How many half bucket is needed? So total buckets of water. So like that for bath, how much of bucket of water? Bucket. When you use in shower, it is a waste of water, children. Shower is there today. Many of us like to have a shower or have a bath in shower. But children, by doing it is good, but it is lot of wastage, because when you consume the water infinitely. So don't use the shower, please use the bucket of water. So whatever activities you do with water, like cooking and other things, write it here in the textbook. This is not your classwork. Then you also have here some small questions. Are you using water more than your requirement? For which activity do you use water? So you can write what all activity. So you can write for cooking, for drinking, cooking, washing the clothes, then having your bath, then for cleaning the vessels. So all this is on page 48. You can write your own, what you have to write it with spelling. Okay, now these are the small queries in page 50, 49 and 50 page. Children, it is all a small activity which you can do it in the textbook. Okay, how the children are giving you, you can see the pictures are given here. Seeing the picture, do these small activities. Then we go to this page 51. On page 51, what is the first picture showing? It is a source of water in the form of rain. So you can write it, rain water. So like that you have about 5 pictures. You can write them and how you are able to use them. So this is one more thing. Then you come back to your last two page, 53 and 54. They are asking, learn to collect and use rainwater for daily activities. For which activity can you use the stored rainwater? Now rainwater, when it is stored, nowadays in cities they have a sump for the storage of rainwater. So the rainwater is the purest water. It is good for drinking, but once it is stored, you cannot use it for drinking. You can use it for washing and all the activities like cooking and all. So what all the rainwater is used, you can write here in the page number 53. 54 is, what if not know from your elders about it, collect information about it and write. So that is, if there is a rainwater harvesting center in your locality, visit it. So we don't have rainwater harvesting in our locality. It is in the outskirts or in the rural area. So that activity you cannot do, children, but otherwise these rainwaters in the rural area are collected and used for plants and for cultivation. That's clear to you? Now I give you the classwork. Look at your classwork, children, please. The classwork you have to write in your classwork with the heading chapter 6, each drop. First question, draw and label water cycle. It is on page 41. Next one, what is evaporation? Now what is evaporation, children? The process of changing water from liquid state to gaseous state is called evaporation. I told you this water, when the sunlight is there, it becomes small drops, but it is in the form of gases, not in the form of liquid. The liquid was river, right? The pond and all that is in the earth in the liquid state. When sun's rays fall on them, they go up in the gaseous state. We can't see them. Can you see them? They are going up. They are going. When you go near the seashore, it's very hot. The sand is hot. The sea water is very hot at mid-afternoon. But we can't see. There will be the formation of taking evaporation. How the liquid water is going in the form of gaseous state. So you must learn the spelling and also the answer. Very important. When you go to the next class or when you are in the 8 and 9, if the teacher asks what is evaporation, you must stand up, put your hands up and say this answer. Next, what is condensation? The word condensation is quite big, children. You have to learn the spelling of condensation. Now, what is condensation? Now you know the water is reached in the form of a gas up in the form of a vapor. Now the process of changing the vapor, that is water vapor which is reached up into liquid state. It forms into drops of liquid and becomes cloud, and then it is cooling and falling back into the earth. How? In the form of a rain. So you can write this process, that is the process of changing water vapor into liquid state, again it is forming as a rain, drops of water on the earth, is called condensation. For what purpose can we use the water that is already used once? So what can we use the water which is already used, children? It can be used for recycling. What is that? You can use again for watering plants. You can again use this water for watering plants. The next question, 5 questions of this lesson is very important. What is recycling? Now what is recycling? It is the same what we read up. When used water is again used for plant is called recycling. When we use water again once again is called recycling. Now the next main is fill in the blanks. Children, you know the earth is having water more or land more? I am sure you know water is more, isn't it? 70% of the earth is with water, and our body is also with 65% of water. So all you should know, water is precious, use it carefully. Always think, tell mommy also, mama, water is precious, daddy also, use it carefully. Tell your brother, sister, because we should not waste water. Second one, dash has the richest water resources in the world. You know, no country has resources like water. Our India, that is, India has the richest water resources in the world. The next one, water in the air is in the form of what form? In vapor form. So water in the air is in the dash form, in the vapor form. That is only becoming the, after evaporation, clouds. Next, last question. There is about dash percent of water in the body of human beings. So how many percent is water, children, in our body? 65%. It is actually not exactly 65, you can say 65 to 70%. But when you tell less than 65%, it is wrong. So if you write 65%, it's correct. I hope this lesson is clear to you, and we will go the next week with lesson 7. But you finish this in your classwork and learn. Take care. Thank you.